So interesting. Yes, so I wanted to quickly come on because I coincidentally run into this unbelievably amazing interview from in the Tucker Carlson show, which I didn't even know existed, with a Saagar who I have been following for a really long time. And I have seen his progress from the hill up until he and Crystal had founded their breaking points. And I don't like, and I haven't followed them for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. After they switched to breaking points, they founded their own talk show. I actually stopped watching it because I just can't stand Crystal. I mean, I love Saagar. Saagar is amazing. If you haven't watched Saagar, I mean, he's just brilliant. He's so brilliant. But Crystal, no way. I mean, I just can't even, I just don't want to watch her at all. And therefore I stopped watching them. But I run into, out of nowhere, this in the Tucker Carlson show, where Tucker invited Saagar Enjeti, and they had a, I don't know, almost, I mean, 2 hour, 19 minutes of a conversation of everything regarding the US politics and everything that's going on in the United States, how it affects the outer politics, the world politics. And let me tell you this, there are two extreme opposites, and on both sides. Basically, I loved so much. I just couldn't stop. I mean, I watched the whole thing in one shot because I couldn't stop watching it, because that's exactly what I've been talking about. That this is the time, and that's exactly what the civil revolution is going to be happening. That's the beginning. We will see more and more these two sides, that the entire world will be so shocked that people will be united. We, the people, I've been talking about this for the last 2.5 years. It's the time of we, the people, and the people on both sides. And let me tell you this, the Jeffrey Epstein files saga has literally now created this turmoil between the MAGA base, and now the MAGA and the left are now kind of almost united. And when we see how, in a very incredible way, Tucker Carlson and Saagar can come together, sit on the table, and so incredibly, in a high level, can discuss the topics and agree on pretty much all bases. It's so refreshing, and we need more of this. And you will see more and more things like this will happen. Tucker Carlson, if you watch this, and I will link that video down below after this video, so that you can please watch it. Tucker Carlson, if you watch it, thank you for this. Thank you for inviting Saagar, and you have this conversation, and please do more of this. Saagar, it was incredible. I mean, I'm such a fan of you and I've been watching you for so long, and you are so passionate, you're so brilliant, you're so smart, and you just like, I totally get it. I'm like you, when I'm just in, I'm like, like it's just so passionate, and I have a lot to say, and I see it with you. I love that. It is just incredible, because it's just both of you, it's just together. That conversation was just fantastic. I applaud you for that, both of you. It was just so great. And so what I want to point out, two things. I mean, you have to watch it. There are just like a lot of sections on that. They discuss a lot of different topics. And also, I mean, they talk a lot about Israel. They talk a lot about, Russia. They talk a lot about the U.S. politics, the corruption. They talk a lot about I mean, that I didn't know. Apparently, Tucker Carlson didn't know about the gambling corruption that's going on, how they bankrupt and they backdoor the law and they hide the law, this gambling company, and corrupt and actually destroy American families. And it's that party. I mean, you have to watch it. I mean, I had no idea. Tucker Carlson had no idea, and this is just so insane. But what I want to point it out at 2 points that is just like so on point. I mean, all of it is on point with all the topics that I mentioned. But Tucker Carlson, if you're watching, and Saagar, if you're watching, at the 1 hour 14 point, you talk about Saagar, about how this, that is a journalist, you are in the corrupt system, and once you are in that corrupt system and you're outsider, they kush you, poo poo you, they stop talking to you, and you had to kind of really be in the system, in this journalism, right, in that corrupt system, so that, and you said literally, if I could have easily, if I would be decided to be in this corrupt system of journalists in the White House, I could have retired until age 65, no problems at all. The problem becomes when you get outside of this corruption, because you cannot take it that in that industry anymore, and then everything just like then happens, right? And they also distance themselves with you, and then suddenly you are the bad guy, what have you. That, my friend, is 100%, as an academician, I can say applies to academia. I've been there, I've done it, I see it, I talk about this, and again, if I speak up, many professors, many famous people, many that they become professor now, their professorships can be ripped away, because I've seen things, I mean, it's just off the scale. So the corruption within the academia and within the medical science, medical research, the academic system, and not just in America, in other countries. I've been academician in 3 countries, and actually 4, if you that I wasn't in academic system per se, but 3 countries for sure I was in the academic system, and I can tell you for a fact the academic system is corrupt as F. And so that exact identical, as you talked about the corrupt journalism industry in the White House, in that corrupt system, and once you're in there and what happens once you're out there, 100,000,000%, 100% match is with the academic system. That how corrupt it is. I can also say the corruption is within the scientific publication, and everybody knows that. It's just that there's no way and I keep thinking, do we just have to build a system where we should take these type of people, professors, scientists, whatever, accountable, and because there is nobody as an institution to oversee the research, the academia, because they do whatever the hell they want. There is a ombudsperson office, but they just literally say to your face, there's nothing we can do. It's just like, and then why you are even there, try to just balance between 2 sides, but they're not even do that, because they say depends on your situation. They say, for that I can't do anything. It's just this is what it is. This is how it is. That's exactly what it is. The corruption is real, 100% identical. So if you're interested in what I'm talking about, watch the 1 hour 14 minutes mark, and that's identical what's happening in academia. I can go on and on and on about that. And again, it is not just America. I've seen this in 3 countries here and other 2 countries as well. This is happening everywhere. And then I want to talk about in these well, I would think was 1 hour 1 hour 50 minutes about the Russian, which was said about that this how Russia, and of course Saagar said you have to follow the money. That's how what I've been saying all along. I always, the way you can understand, if you want to understand, guys, this is my realization. One day I was in a bank, and in that bank I was in the waiting my stuff to get done, and on the side there was, and it was in the US, on the side there was, not every bank in the US has that, but that bank had that. On the side there were these currencies of the entire world, right? And so it was just sliding through. And let me tell you, you need to see the value of that country's money. Then, I don't want to tell you much about that, but you go and watch and see. That, my friend, you will easily understand the world politics. Easily. Why is one country starting war? Why is the other country doing what war? You will see that understand the world politics based on their money, value, and currency. Just go and just take a look, and you will easily get that. That's the way I figured that out of nowhere. So that's that. But in the 1 hour 50 point, he's also pointing out that the way Russia is able to expand its GDP and the ammunition in such a rapid speed, despite the fact that there were a lot of sanctions, the biggest sanctions in the American history to Russia, even then they were able to increase their GDP and their ammunition. Then he says it shows how they easily can do that, and that the United States is not as powerful as it looks, and the other countries are actually studying that in a very closed way. That was, my friend, so scary. I mean, it is true. It is 100% true. Tucker Carlson also agreed with that. But this is because he just quickly mentioned China, and then he just didn't mention it anymore. But that's what he meant, right? China is closely watching what's going on, because this way it is easy to follow and to see the weak points of United States in the world stage. And that's, my friend, how they were able to really pick and tear us apart. So we as Americans need to be awake, need to understand what is going on really, and conversations like this, and I would love to see more conversations like this with 2 sides, and sitting down and really discussing at high level what actually is going on, really will help the next elections, and really help our country to come back to and just really get out of this disgusting corruption, and to really that it's finally actually American focused, like Americans focused, so that we can thrive as Americans rather than suffer and get more bankrupt like these companies, gambling companies from 2020 until 2024, how they make billions of dollars of revenue off of the gambling addictive people, which is usually the ones that don't have the money. And so it is absolutely insane. You need to watch it, and we have to have more conversations like this, and we have to, and again, these Jeffrey Epstein's files, I think, really was able to hit the trigger so that now both sides are coming on the same table. This is insane to watch from the outside. I love it. And guess what? If you follow my channel for some time, if you follow my Sunday lives, what is the 7th of July? Watch my videos. What happened on 7th of July? And guess what? Because the 7th of July is the beginning of the next 8 years. And I keep saying we the people. And guess what? I was shocked to see Tucker Carlson's and Saagar Enjeti's talk was filmed on Monday, July 7th. I'm telling you, more of this will come. So excited to see. So I'll link that video down below. Go ahead and watch it, and also tell me what your thoughts are, which parts you found most interesting, which parts do you agree, or I mean, I cannot imagine you disagree with everything what's happening there. I mean, obviously you're on my channel, but you understand from both sides that high level conversation is so needed in this country. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll see you next video. Bye bye, guys.